A goal without a plan is just a wish. Hey there, how's it going, you guys? Thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. I'll be your host, Eugene Forrest. So, what do we got going on tonight with these crazy cryptocurrency markets? Still down, right? Hovering around $10,000. People are freaking out a little bit, talking about that we could head down to 8.8, or are we going to be, coming back up? The question of our correlation with the stock market and the S&P 500 has come up quite a bit. When it comes to thinking about Bitcoin, my opinion is not really all that important, right? But I've been here for a minute and I have an opinion and I got a YouTube channel, so I might as well tell you guys about it. What I keep coming up with is, it's like that shotgun in the closet, right? You don't want to use it. You want to know that it's there in case of an emergency. You don't want someone to break in your front door. You don't want there to be a catastrophe. But if it does happen, you're going to be happy that you have it. You really shouldn't be sitting around saying, oh, I'm going to get rich off of it, right? It's a tool, right? Because ultimately, everything's always about you preserving your life and the life of your family and moving towards a place of better human connection with each other. So everything else, money and everything is trivial and just a part of the process. So Bitcoin being future of money as I see it, hey, it could be tomorrow, right? Someone could break in your house tomorrow. The government could overturn tomorrow. The dollar bill could become worthless, as quickly as tomorrow. Or it could be, hey, my gun's still in my closet when I'm long gone and my son's living in the house and somebody breaks in then too, right? Well, my Bitcoin's still hanging around. I plan on passing on my keys. I plan on continuing to make sure that I have a tool of a decentralized currency to help my family, to help the ones that I care about, right? To help myself in a time of need and struggle if the fiat cash isn't what we've all been promised. Yes, now more than ever, we're seeing that cash is being inflated. They're printing it. They're talking about more than 2%. There's always never a right answer about anything, right? So whether or not the price of Bitcoin is going to go up or down has to do with the price of the markets, right? That has nothing to do with the utilization of the tool. That has nothing to do with the strength of the network. That has nothing to do with adoption. That just has to do with a few people who aren't big enough to be whales and trading it over the counter, going to a third-party exchange, trading it for fiat. We sit at 10,000 a day, and I'm okay with it. And who else I think is okay with it is my lovely co-host, Sammy.
Good evening, everyone.
So, Samantha, what do you think? You think Bitcoin's like the shotgun in the closet?
Yes, I guess. Because, the shotgun.
There's a lot of power there, right?
Yes, and I guess, how you make the shotgun make you money is you rob people, because that makes money, like with the said tool. But yeah. Okay. I get where you're going. I see it. I get the. Okay. Satoshi James is here.
Satoshi James, thank you for joining me, my friend. You make this a party, right? Because now there's three of us. I'm not a crazy person out in the woods talking about this magical internet money.
And Miss Biddy is here. Hi, Mike.
Mike, nice. Thanks for joining us. You guys, hit the thumbs up. Share this video out. Maybe we can get a few more people hanging out with us. The YouTube algorithm, AI, and all that good stuff. We got to feed it, right? We feed it the likes. We feed it the shares. We feed it our IP address.
Yeah. Mike says, the question is, how on the fringe of lunacy are we? I don't know, okay? It's looking like we're closer and closer to not being crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if you were a person that sat around and talked about prepping and doomsday and the fall of the government since the 80s, you would just be a lunatic because it never happened. I mean, timing is everything, right?
The things that have happened in this year, half of the people, I mean, you wouldn't even have, can't make this shit up.
You can, yeah, that's very true.
You just can't.
I don't know. I mean, I've been finding the longer I spend in the space that it's easy to get burned up, right? It's easy to get over invested. It's easy to get overzealous. The hardest thing to do is to buy Bitcoin, put it in a hardware wallet, sit on the sidelines, continue to keep that ear to the ground, see what's on the horizon.
Mike said when he first heard about the Burning Man in 1998, it had 13,000 attendance. Now it exceeds 80,000. It's increased over time. More people accepted the lunatic fringe. Oh, and that we are the first burners. He also said he was in the Jesus movement in the early 70s. Jesus was going to rapture us all away by 1999. Oh, how'd that work out? Oh, man. You've had a very interesting life, man. Disney worker, mortician, Jesus-ness.
So, you've been watching the news with me about everything, right?
There's been a lot. Yeah, you've been putting on lots of news. So, either it's crypto or real news. Yes.
And it's just a lot to be taken in, right? It's not enough to feel strongly personally one way or another. I mean, you see all the protesters out there. I mean, especially the ones in Rochester, New York. That's old stomping grounds of mine. So seeing that hits a little closer to home. Seeing the Trump supporters, the right-wing activists or whatever.
I mean, people are just doing some crazy shit. Like,
seeing the schools, increasing the number of, COVID patients in the states that have open schools already.
Yeah, all the colleges that are like making, like, I mean, you're getting suspended and expelled and stuff for like having gatherings or being seen at and getting tested like all the time.
But then I told you the other day, like, me and you were very lucky because apparently right here in this section of Florida, they're not enforcing masks. Like, everything says required masks, but no one's wearing one. I mean, we've been going into most Walmarts and gas stations and everywhere else. I mean, we went into Ace and Dollar General today, and nobody had a mask on. No one made us put a mask on. No one was passing out masks.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we are in a very rural area. I'm sure a lot of the residents in this, county really don't think that they're probably, contagious or able to get sick or whatnot. But I mean, just because you don't know anybody, that does not mean that So I don't know. I mean, the other option is, I mean, now you get crazy people. Who's going to tell you to put a mask on? Okay, because they don't have any idea how crazy you are. What if you are really fanatical about not putting that snout mask on? Like,
I know my grandfather is very upset about putting a mask on.
Yes, he has lots of social media rants of how it is not like fair or constitutional, which I understand. And now, I mean, yes, he goes out of his way to find places that do not enforce mask wearing.
I mean, we're talking that a vaccine could be coming out by the end of the year here. I mean, I know Trump is saying November. I know other people are saying more like December, but still, I mean, we're looking at by 2021 there being some sort of a vaccine out. I know people are talking about, who's going to get it first and priority and all of this, but at least at that point it becomes a matter of personal responsibility. You can't say I have to wear a mask. I'd say, well, why don't you go out and get a vaccine?
I mean, it's all in this. Yes, because it is also the same on how even before this, where there was quite a lot of the parents that did not want to vaccinate their children from, like, polio, measles, like all of the standard school stuff. I don't know if anybody won that argument. Like, I don't know if it is actually, because it's kind of that same thing. But in the same aspect, if my kid isn't vaccinated for the measles, but every other kid is, then what's the problem, right?
So what do we got going on in the chat? I do got a little bit of news that's Bitcoin and cryptocurrency related, but I mean, as we all know, right, we're all here. We've all been here for a while. We're always talking about the same exact stuff that all the other YouTube channels are talking about. It's DeFi, it's sushi, it's the drama that unfolded there. It's the correlation between the stock market and Bitcoin. But still, I mean, what Bitcoin is, if you want to consider it equal with the pound and the yen and everything, it's the world's 6th largest currency.
It's not bad considering, I mean, it's not been around as long as all the other ones.
I mean, we've seen there was the Ether base. There was a hack for 5 million.
Yeah, that they think they're not. Yes,
they're not disclosing.
Yes, they're not disclosing.
Their wallets are the ones that they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
That Ether scan then takes you over. You can check their wallets, and it says that the money's missing.
Yeah, they're just around guesstimate of what the losses may or may not be. But yeah, they're not really saying anything.
It's the same thing as always. The criminals hanging out in the space, right? You taking advantage of sound money and the fact that the transactions are a push and not a pull, and that there's not, credit card protection type stuff all over the blockchain.
All right, Truth Monster is here. He says he likes the Christmas lights. Why, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, they're still kicking from last Christmas. We still got, hey, it's getting closer. I think I seen some the other day.
Oh, yeah, there was a whole freaking aisle. Like, it was ridiculous.
So, hey, around Christmas time is the only time you can really find Christmas lights. They're also dirt cheap. So when you go and they're like $1.09 or $1.29. You can pick up 20 boxes or whatever easily.
Eugene buys the Walmart, just the standards. Oh, yes. I remember the last time we had half a shopping cart full. I was like, do we need this many? He was like, of course we do. Do you remember all those trees? We got to wrap them. There's got to be.
Oh, they burn out.
They do. They do. I mean, these ones actually hung on pretty well. We have only like one strand it's iffy. Sometimes it's on, sometimes he's not, MS Biddy says most people cannot fathom most of the very surface of what we discuss. When you start looking deeper into DeFi and oracles and trust values, that is beyond most to grasp. We are very fortunate. It does suck because because we do this and because we talk to you guys, it is very easy to forget that this is not common knowledge and this is not common conversation.
I mean, that is one of the reasons that we started doing this. Remember, Samantha?
Oh yeah, it was horrible.
I started knowing so much of this stuff from research and YouTube, and you really didn't want the conversation and all of the video and all of the stuff I was trying to force on you, pretty much at that point. So I reached out, through YouTube, and I mean, we love this community. We love being able to have this outlet to be able to talk to people, to discuss things. We've been able to keep it going through the years because I find inspiration in the ideal of that I'm giving back to the community. I seen the other day that someone had written the help desk wanting to know how to send a transaction. I was surprised and happy because we haven't received anything at the help desk in quite a while.
It was nice. It was all like, ooh, this is feeling a little bullish too. Yes, bring on the questions.
I mean, it's not something, it teaches you a lot, right? Being here, having the outlet of hanging out with you guys continues to keep me to be able to be motivated and going, where I could see if I would have not had this, I may have fallen off. You know what I mean? I may have sold my Bitcoin and washed out, or have just walked away and got back to normal time frame. And by the time I had come back, it could have been too late again.
I mean, yeah, I do. I don't know. I do think the show motivates us. You know what I mean? That watching other YouTubers, it is motivation. I mean, we've watched Omar forever. I mean, since he was a waiter, and I mean, some of this, it really does give you motivation to continue to see the same people and have the same passion and continuing on with their lives, even though they're not even doing the same things that they were doing, that they're just still around and that we are all still in crypto.
I don't know. Sometimes I come to crypto YouTube and I go to watch the videos, and it's depressing because it's not as good as it used to be.
That is true.
I used to love to watch Vortex on World Crypto Network.
Yes.
For
Panda
this week,
awesome.
for I don't know, their weekly show.
Yes, whatever that, I forgot what it was called, but yes, like the yes.
Right, and then there was always This Week in Bitcoin with Adam Meister. That was good. We used to have the Cryptoverse in the morning. Always had a good episode.
The Chris Coney guy.
The Chris Coney, and now it's a lot of them have turned to garbage or washed out or are looking for ways to sell you. Who Elio Trades was good for a while.
Yeah. I mean, for
Bud Nation or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he was. Yes. I mean, we even watched box mining for quite a while. I mean, I cannot stand that crap now. But in the beginning, I don't know. I guess it is just nice to continue to see everybody evolve, because we definitely have evolved. I mean, I hate looking back at the old videos because it is just
I can't stand,
oh my God.
I can't stand watching Tone Vase anymore.
No, can't do it. I know. Not even when they switched it up to the new Asian girl and all that. Still can't do it. I cannot. I know. All right, where are we at? Kristen's here. Hello, Kristen.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Ooh, the mosquitoes are
I know, they're bad.
That bottle of D is empty.
I know. We're screwing ourselves right now.
Squirted the stream instead of the mist. I was like, no.
No. And Josh is here. He says, hi. Mask forever? I hope not. I hope not too,
Well,
Josh.
see, we were talking about that a little bit earlier, and if they have vaccines coming at the end of the year, then I would say it becomes a matter of personal responsibility, and life should be able to go back to normal, and it's up to you to get a vaccine if you are concerned.
Yes.
Right? So, we should all be able to go back to normal.
Or if you are in a public something where you would need to be vaccinated, just for the sheer customer service of it or whatever you got going. I've been hearing crazy crap. I don't actually do very much social media and stuff like that, but I was I think on Facebook today, and there were people in our area that were saying that they had to get tested as part of their job employment now. Instead of getting drug tested, you are getting antibody tested.
Yeah, I know that they're making it for some of the students and stuff at school. They're making them get tests before they start up either at the college, or they can start up at some of the schools. Also, if somebody tests positive at the school, they make a bunch of the students go get tests also.
Oh yeah, they shut the whole classroom down. I don't know. In Florida, because we really apparently do not know how to manage our shit correctly at all. I at least half, 50% of all of our state schools are at least at some kind of a temporary shutdown, thanks to a quarantine of some sort, of some classroom up to multiple classrooms.
I personally figure the schools are probably doing better than they've ever done before, because there's no behavior problems. Teacher,
yeah, right.
Someone starts talking back to the teacher, mute. Don't want to deal with a student who's unruly, kicked out of the chat.
Right? Yes. Literally black screen.
You're not punching and fighting and flicking paper or whatever the childishness is through virtual Zoom.
That's true. But now we're hearing stupid stuff what was the one that you were telling me, that a 12-year-old got suspended because he had a play gun. Not a real gun, a play gun in his bedroom, in the room that he was in, that he was on Zoom. All right. That is going to be a hard sell for me. I'm just saying, how does that get suspension? And then there has to be, I get it. You wouldn't be bringing a play gun to school. That would be a no-no. All right. Well, what's up with that? The fact that my kid's in his room or whatever, and, he has these things. They're not, he would never take them to school. Am I supposed to redecorate his damn room or put like a curtain up or something because, oh my God, he has nunchucks? I mean, I don't know. It seems like there's a little, just like, yes, I'm sure that, there's not going to be children smoking cigarettes or anything on their Zoom things, but it's like they have to give you some kind of leeway because you're not in school.
Yeah.
Just like how some of them are saying that you have to be dressed. Like you cannot be in pajamas, like looking like you just rolled out of bed, that you actually have to look presentable in your Zoom. Okay, who gets to choose that one? The teacher?
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, no, you didn't even brush your nappy hair and out. Like, just really?
It's all complicated, but that's why, everybody wants it to go back to normal as far as I can tell. So it looks like a good spot for me to say, let's use personal responsibility as a good scapegoat, right? So that we can all go back to normal. You're personally responsible. If you don't want to get it so that you don't pass it on to your grandparents, then you go get vaccinated. You're at health risk, you get vaccinated if you want. If you work at a convenience store and you're going to be touching dirty money and you're going to be touching people and they're going to be all up in your face breathing as they're like saying gas pump number 6 or whatever, you go get vaccinated. If you choose not to, then that's on you. Now, maybe make it free, like they're doing the testing.
Yeah.
That would be beneficial. But
they really, I don't know. They would really have to. Okay, like the way that they are mass saying that people need, like how they were saying mass, everybody needed to get tested. They were saying, fine, it will be free. Like, do not even, don't worry. They're going to have to do something if they really think that they're going to just be handing out a vaccine like candy. No matter how much you want it, there's going to be people who will not pay like the $20 or the $50 or the copay or the whatever it is.
I would say that the bigger questions is that today, right, they should be back at talks of, are we going to be getting stimulus money? Is there going to be small business loans again? How are we bailing everything out? Right? Possibly $3 trillion on the table once again.
Yes, they're at this point right now. We are like literally there is no game plan.
There's still, we're talking about the regular news is saying that we're seeing in large cities, either you're falling on the divide of you have enough money and you're leaving and you're going and buying a house out in the country, or you're stuck in the city because you're paying rent and you don't have money and you're probably not paying your rent. And they're showing all the people hanging the sheets out the window that say no job, no rent.
Mm-hmm.
Still, the Mandarandum or whatever, where you don't have to pay your rent here in Florida.
Yeah, it's still going. Yes,
so,
it is.
That is quite a long time if you're looking at you stop paying in March. And here we are, and you can go till October before they'd even be able to start the process. And everybody knows that takes a while. It's not like 30 days. It's like a month or two usually to get the court system going. And there's going to be so many, right? You might get a freaking year out of this stuff if it works in your favor.
Paul Rouleau is here. Good evening, Paul.
Paul Rouleau, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it, my friend. It's nice to have you come by as often as you do. Definitely one of the things that keep us going out here, buddy.
I know. We love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Mosquitoes are biting me good. We have to buy more off for next time.
Yeah, we even have the citronella candle. It doesn't matter. I know. We need off, and we need one of those torch tables. Okay, yes.
I think that it's going to be nice here soon.
I do too.
Once the weather cools off, the mosquitoes will be dead. We'll be able to sit out here a little easier. Already, like you were saying, the Christmas lights are coming back out, so I'll be able to pick some more up, continue doing something.
Oh, I got pumpkins. I get pumpkins. Now we will put them somewhere where everybody can see them. Yes.
How's the lighting in the camera?
It's not bad.
It's looking all right.
Yeah, you kind of got a lot of panoramic viewness going. It's not bad. Yeah.
Is there anything you guys want to talk about tonight? How are you guys feeling about the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency space? Yes, the price at 10,000. Is it going to go lower like we'll see 8? I wouldn't think so, but I don't know. I don't know for sure.
No one knows for sure.
I know that under $10,000, which it's been having trouble falling below, Bitcoin is definitely undervalued. We talk about all the time that the price of Bitcoin is suppressed. we think the price of Bitcoin has been suppressed since they've had future markets. We keep talking about CME gaps, and does Bitcoin have to go back and fill these things? These questions, it does have a lot to lead you to put on that tinfoil hat. Why is the price of Bitcoin what it is? How are these markets capable of controlling Bitcoin as much as it is?
Trust says maybe they should pay people to get vaccinated. I like what you're going with. I mean, if they're going to possibly pay people to deactivate their social media accounts, why not? Pay everybody for everything, man. You want any kind of opinion? Do you want a yes or no answer? Then you have to pay me.
I mean, yeah, they're still fighting. I seen today that they're protesting today here in Florida for $15 an hour minimum wage. So, but at the same time, we also read articles that say you need $24 an hour to live here in Florida, but comfortably.
Like, yeah, it's a real, really conundrum. Like, because it's just, I don't know how anybody lives here, really.
And then this was 2 days ago when I was showing you, we were watching a bunch of computer stuff like AI and the integration.
Oh, yeah, yep.
And they had the fryer arms.
Yep.
And I was like, see, Samantha, how many fast food places are nothing but fried food? One person just stands over 10 arms.
Yeah,
that's how you pay them. Yeah, that's how you pay them $15 an hour.
Right, because they also troubleshoot when that thing goes wonky, okay?
Yes, but they also just replaced 7 other people that were making $8 an hour now, or $9.
Yes. Okay, because it wasn't even very far. I believe it was Orlando, but at the beginning of the COVID stuff, they were showing that they had opened and that they were completely contactless because they had little robot waiters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at some point here, we're going to get screwed. They are going to make something just as good as, we'll just use Adam Meister's, the 80%ers. They will. And then we're going to be screwed because, yes, I don't know what happens to those people that were flipping the hamburgers or flipping the things.
So, I don't know, Samantha. Back to the beginning of this episode and all of it. Bitcoin's a tool, right? And it's a tool that we're going to take and we're going to put it in our house because we know that fiat, the US dollar bill, is broken and breaking. Do we know if it's going to break today? No. Do we know if it's going to break in a month, a year, or are we going to have to pass Bitcoin on to our son so that hopefully he can save himself when fiat cash breaks? We don't know, but I'd rather be prepared, right? That's why we keep the gun in the closet, right? That's why you keep cash on hand in the safe, right? That's why you keep a old prescription of amoxicillin, right, in the cabinet so you can skip the doctor's appointment. And everybody does these things. You think, how do I prevent a problem in the future? You get tools and you keep them at your home to prevent these things. It's obvious to us, being smart, intelligent individuals, that there's a problem with the fiat system. So we have gotten a tool. Hey, maybe we'll make out really well. That'd be great. But that's not my intentions. My intentions are to save myself in a crisis, to save my family when it needs to be saved, just like the gun in the closet.
I mean, the fiat system has the check engine light on, okay? You're just driving it until it starts flashing, and then you got a good 5 minutes before it stops running. It's that same. You know it's broken. You just don't know when. So
if you guys got any questions, any comments, anything you're thinking about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, this channel, questions you want to ask us, please go ahead, put them in the comment. We're getting ready to wind this show down. It's been great hanging out with you guys. It's like we tell you guys, this is one of the best parts of our lives. We feel like we get to express ourselves on the same level, right? It's not often, like you're saying, that we can find people that we can have these conversations about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, society, how things work, personal restraint, right? The things that we all are practicing.
Oh, Kristen says she hoards meds. And she also gave us a $5 super chat. Ah, thank you, Kristen.
We appreciate it. Remember, we are a not-for-profit organization. Every dollar that we raise here through Bitcoin and Coffee, somehow we like to turn it around and give it back to the community by getting out there, passing out Bitcoin flyers. We haven't been able to do anything this year because of all the COVID stuff. We're aiming big for next year, 3-4 events. Hopefully, this is why I'm hoping that they make it personal responsibility at the end of the year with, vaccinations, is because then they'll have EDM festivals. Then the world does get to go back to normal. Then we'll be able to, this bus that we've been working on and painting. And I mean, today I just hooked up a new digital thermostat because the one that we had was an old one that was kind of wonky. Sometimes it worked,
he kind of just bounced around like it was, not that accurate.
So I put a nice digital one in, hooked that all up today. So, I mean, it's getting there. It's getting ready. 2021 is getting closer. Can't wait to put up donational addresses and get out there and start passing out brochures and everything. I want you guys to help, right? That's always how we're talking here, is that we want you guys to help, that we think of it like a carbon offset, right? If you're donating money because you can't find the time to get out there, but if you got time, that's the better way. We all have to do our part in order to get Bitcoin off the ground. I mean, it's been great these last 11 years. Yes. But we got a long ways to go. 2.5% of the population. We have to get a lot more.
A lot more.
All right, what do we got going on in the chat over there, Samantha?
James Benhart is here.
James Benhart, thanks for coming, buddy.
He says price is all an algorithm and an AI. Been hodl it for 7 years.
Ooh, man, nice.
Been on the roller coaster too long. I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, personally, the way I guess I've been feeling is it's hard to, you get worked up, right? You see these things, like I was personally almost ready to jump into DeFi a little bit. Everybody was like, oh man, there's so much money being made and I'm just sitting on the sidelines, and it's hard to not get mixed in when the stuff keeps going on. But at the same time, sitting on the sidelines is the best. But you got to keep your ear to the ground. You got to hear the new information. You got to keep going on with what's happening with the price of Bitcoin. Involved, but not involved, right? That's a complicated place to be.
Absently present.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, if you make your voice too loud, there's always someone out there to try to tear you down, right? There's always the counterparty argument. So if you go make your voice real loud on Twitter, then you're just gonna have a bunch of people arguing you on Twitter.
Yeah, there's a lot of Debbie Downers out there.
So then you just get burned out. I mean, I want to be here in the space, but I don't want to have to fight. I just want to reach out and help in hand when I can. I want to go to a few events on some friends with you guys if you want to come along. I'd like to raise a few dollars so I don't have to put it all in myself, right? Get out there, hand out brochures, tell people, let's make a change. Opt out of the system.
All right. We're good.
We're good?
We're good.
All right, you guys. I appreciate you coming out here and hanging out with us this evening. Fantastic. Remember, hit the thumbs up, share the video out, hit the notification bell, subscribe if you haven't. We'll be back in 3 days, probably. Sorry about the extra long one. We got wrapped up in the holiday weekend.
And it rained one day. Yeah.
It's always something,
Florida
right?
weather.
There's no such thing as enough time, enough energy, or enough money. All right. Remember to keep that BTC safe and each other. Later, guys.
Bye, guys.